This is Phase Ed Music.
Hey, welcome everybody to a special Thanksgiving episode
Special edition.
of That Fantasy Show.
Get them while they're hot.
I am your host, your friendly local neighborhood YouTuber, Michael Amen, joined by
Brian Wilczek.
and also
Ella.
Our special guest.
and we're just going to kick this off right away. We're going to jump right into this how we usually do on our normal shows. Pledge of Allegiance. Ella, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go. Brian, get us ready.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Play ball.
Let's go. America, man. Big day in our country as we celebrate giving thanks. Wonderful time of the year. Ella, let's just jump right into you. Ella, why don't you take a second here? Tell the people what you're thankful for this year.
Well, I'm thankful for one of my elves coming, also her brother. I'm thankful for my life, my family, and my pet. I'm thankful for everything in this world. I'm just so thankful.
Very somber, Ella.
Well played, Ella. Well played. So speaking of that, as we try to keep these headphones in, that's going to make this easier for you to hear yourself. We are just going to jump right in this week to special edition Thanksgiving. Ella's picks.
Ella's pick 6. Bring it in.
Ella, there's 4 games. There's 3 today. There's 1 tomorrow on Black Friday. This is an older one. Ella's current updated record
Ooh.
is actually 34 and 32. I'm not sure exactly where that graphic is. But Ella is still above 500. 2 games above 500. As she went 3-3 last week. Kid's steady. But we have a special. Maybe I uploaded it wrong. I don't know.
Let's fix this real quick.
Let's check it out. Well, I labeled it under the thanks.
Yeah, I think technical difficulty. Bear with
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
But,
yeah,
it's
we're gonna be
Thanksgiving.
okay.
It's a fun holiday filled with football, family, and food.
And that's why we did the special
3
edition
Fs
show.
here.
It's not like
Yeah.
we weren't going to be together anyway. We have married sisters and we are going to the same place. We're spending time all day together anyway. Likely going to be talking about fantasy. Why not share with the people a little bit? But
All right, we got the update. 34, 32.
oh, there
right?
you go,
There we
Ella.
go.
Look at that record, Ella. That's very impressive.
Very impressive. Let's jump right into it.
So today,
yeah.
Brian, take us into this. You know a lot about the history of this game. Tell us a little more.
The Detroit Lions and football on Thanksgiving go together like Thanksgiving and turkey. All right, the Lions have been playing on Thanksgiving since 1934. 90 years Thanksgiving football, aside from the World War II years in the 40s. They've got 84 Thanksgiving games under their belt. Holy cow. And obviously, we know Dallas, they have a tradition of playing on Thanksgiving too. I think they started in the 60s, so we had like a 30-year head start on them. The Lions didn't invent Thanksgiving football, but they made it mainstream. Dallas has 56 games. Only one team has not played on Thanksgiving. Do you know who it is?
I don't.
It would be a newer team, so guess. Which ones are the newest teams?
So I would probably guess Houston would be my first guess. Houston Texans.
It's actually the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Really?
Only team never to play on Thanksgiving.
See, in this day and age, I feel like that's kind of a crime.
Yeah.
Especially with the third game.
Yeah, you
I'm
gotta-
okay with the first two
yeah.
games keeping the history. I don't ever want those to change.
you
And I'm
gotta
an
fight
out of
with them.
towner. Obviously, I'm from Cleveland, land born and bred till I die, but the games should be Detroit, Dallas, and then I like the idea of the
Throw in the
rotating
new one.
third game.
Yeah.
I like that.
We got to get the first timer in there. But so 84 games for Detroit on Thanksgiving. Next up, Dallas, 56 games, followed by the Bears, 37 games. I think that a lot of that has to do with the Lions playing so much.
Exactly.
And then number 14, the Cardinals with 23 Thanksgiving games. And the Lions lead them out with 37 wins, but Dallas is close behind with 33 wins. You know, if you grew up in Detroit, you know, it can be a somber day on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
for
it
Lions
hasn't
football.
been too good around here for Lions wins, especially last year when they were rolling last year and expected they could finally.
I don't. There's some kind of moon phase curse. I haven't looked into that this year.
Yeah, we
Try
didn't
to
do any moon
Pipe out
studying.
the noise.
Yeah, I forgot I was gonna check into my moon phase studying, and dang it.
We'll get him next time. Anyway, back to you, Ella.
Well,
We got
Ella.
3 games today, 1 tomorrow.
So Brian, I broke this to Ella last night because there was only 4 games and we was hanging out watching something. So
Yeah.
I was like preparing her for what's
Yeah.
going on with these games, and let me tell you, she's torn on this one. She
Ooh.
doesn't know what to do. Ella, it's the moment of truth. Tell the people what you think, and then go on ahead and say who you think's gonna win. Anything you want.
This one is literally a hard, very hard one, and I'm gonna have to think this one over long and hard. But if I had to choose one, I have, from the start of the fantasy show, I have been picking the Bears, but again, the Lions are the home team, so I don't know what to pick on this one, but
Let's get your feelings. Off the top of your head, who's winning?
I
Who do we
feel
got?
I feel like I want you to guys. I'm gonna make this a game, and I want you guys to guess which one I'm gonna pick.
I think I know who you're gonna pick.
I'm guessing the Bears, just by the backstory.
I think it's gonna be the Bears too, and she's just scared to say it. But Ella, I told you before we left the house, you don't have to be afraid to say anything. You can pick whoever
Say what
you want.
feel. No judgment.
But this is truly your choice. So what do you think? We're gonna be watching this game as kickoff is in about less than an hour.
12:30 kickoff for those of you that don't know.
And it's tradition, we're watching this game, but what do you think?
Both of you guys are wrong because I'm going to pick the Lions.
Ooh, forward down the
Wait.
field.
What? I meant to hit that one. Oh my god, I can't believe you went with the hometown Lions. Okay, well let's
we
go.
like it.
We're gonna roll with that. Lock that in as
Yep.
Ella's first pick of the Thanksgiving special.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Lions on Thanksgiving no matter what.
You know, and I
Too
always
thick
did
and
too. Foreshadowing in the gambling segment, there may be a smarter play than this. I'm not gonna say that the Lions are gonna win, but we're gonna talk about possible
There's some cheers
upsets.
upstairs for Ella's pick.
But there may be some possible upsets, but
Wait for
we're
Lions
going
tail.
for the Lions today. So, like I said, even though I'm from Cleveland, I'll tell you what, I was always rooting for the Lions on Thanksgiving. I'm from the Barry Sanders era. I'm
Hell
from
yeah.
the whole Barry Sanders era. I'm talking about, I remember rookie Barry Sanders,
Yeah, I would
all
have
the
been
way
a
through.
young buck. towards the
Calvin,
end.
everything. I never had beef with the Lions, so go Lions today.
Ooh, Lions.
Okay, we're gonna move along real quick so Ella can get back upstairs with the family. Ella, this is
New
the
York
second
Giants.
game today. Oh
Oh,
my God, you
right
can
off the
take a
cuff.
second and think about it. This is the
There
New
was
York
some
Giants,
thought in that
Dallas
first one.
Cowboys. As Brian said, Cowboys are always home on Thanksgiving. Huge tradition.
Oh, I take back what I say. Then I'm gonna pick the Cowboys then.
Talk right here. We'll say
We
why.
got a
Tell-
rebuttal.
Tell the people why.
Because if they always play on Thanksgiving, I don't know, but if they do, I'm gonna pick them because
Okay. We'll take that.
It's your choice.
Let's round out the Thanksgiving.
So
slate.
these are two teams you don't really pick from a lot,
I
Ella.
don't even know either of the symbols.
Duh, I love that.
What's
Say
the
that
first
again.
one?
Say that again here.
I don't even know both of what are those symbols.
Well, that's fine because you're still 6 and we're learning. But Brian, why don't you go ahead? Let her know this matchup and ask her what she thinks.
So we have the Miami Dolphins going to Green Bay to face off the Green Bay Packers. That is an outdoor stadium. It's cold there. The Dolphins are from a tropical
Actually, Ella,
climate.
before you pick too, important piece of information. Foreshadowing again the gambling situations. It's smart to check what's the weather doing.
Yeah, what's the weather doing?
As Woody would say.
There's a backstory
What's
there.
the weather
We'll get
we're
into that another time.
So it's actually going to be about 25, 26 degrees at kickoff here. No precipitation, so no snow, but it's going to be cold. And the Dolphins are known for not winning in the cold. 20, 30-something straight games. I don't know exactly what the stat is, but
I easily say this is the most questionable game of the day.
because one team's from Florida, the south part of our country, and one team's from Green Bay, and that's Wisconsin, the north part of our country, and it's going to be very cold. Who do you think's going to win?
I don't know either of them, but I both kind of like the symbol, but I don't even know.
Dolphins on the left,
That's good enough
Packers
reason.
on the right.
Oh. Oh my. This is
This one's tough.
the Bears and the Lions were even like really hard, but this one,
Just do what you feel. What's in your gut?
the Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
Go
They're gonna overcome the weather.
Dolphins. Whatever they
All right.
say. What do the Dolphins chant when they be like,
Who knows?
what's
the
their
the
hype
Lions are
train?
very unique having a fight song. Not many professional teams have that.
Oh, we got one.
Oh, yeah, but we got one.
Oh, yeah.
We're the Lions.
We're local.
We're different.
Okay, Ella, take a minute, even though me and Brian
I
probably
already
know who
know.
you're going to pick.
Special edition Black Friday game. Who you got?
Take a minute and tell the people some things.
Tell
And
the
then tell us
people.
who you think's going to win.
You know, I love Taylor Swift, so
We got a Swiftie in the house. There's a few of them upstairs, too. I'm a Swiftie. I'll admit it.
Not going to lie, I'm a Swiftie too. She does her thing. She
I don't
gets a
let-
lot of hate.
I don't let it murk
understand.
my football.
I don't
fandom,
understand the
though.
sports world, the backlash with her. Who cares? Like, I love girls liking sports. Shout out Taylor Swift. Maybe she'll fall in love with the show.
Hey, that'd be nice.
I don't
We could retire.
I don't even know what the one on the right is. I don't even know, but I don't.
So this one is the Oakland, or no, excuse me, I'm still
Oakland.
doing that.
That's all right.
Las Vegas Raiders. They used to play in a city called Oakland, and they used to play in a city called Los Angeles.
I
Now
got
they're
my-
in Las Vegas.
I got my eye on the winner already.
We already know who you're gonna say. Just tell the people, Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, so there's not 6 games this week for Ella to pick from. There's only 4. But Ella, in this scenario, has taken the Detroit Lions, the Dallas Cowboys, the Miami Dolphins, and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, I think you got a chance to win
I
all
think
those.
that's good.
Yeah,
Probably parlay that together.
I would. I did a parlay.
Well, we'll get into some
We'll get into
gambling.
that, yeah.
We'll get into a little bit of that. But Ella, for now, you've done a great job. Round of applause for Miss Ella.
Thank you, Miss Ella.
Wonderful part of the show. Everybody tunes in for that. We're just a couple weirdos, but you're the best part of the show. Thank you very much. Go hang out with your family for a few minutes while me and Brian talk about some boring football.
Nice attire there, Ella. We got the elf costume, got
She's
the bells
decked out.
jingling. She's ready.
Yeah, she got a new elf in the household today.
A new elf?
So you know the elf on the shelf?
There's 2 elf. Are they multiplying?
So she has it was a girl elf that we've had for the past couple years. You want to talk about your elf a little more? Come on. Tell the people more. So the elf Peppermint that has been in the Eamon household for the past couple years now has a brother. Tell the
A
people.
brother.
What's his name?
His Peppermint's brother is named Candy Cane.
Candy cane.
Since
Candy
Pep-
Cane.
I was gonna name him Minty because Peppermint and Minty, but I wanted to name him Candy Cane. And now I have to read 2 elf books.
2 elf books.
Yes, 2 elf books.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, we just wanted to bring that up real quick, Ella. We just liked your attire. You're so cute. Go hang with your cousins for a minute, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay?
Iron to Kyrie. That reminds me of a movie. If you know what I'm talking about,
I don't.
I don't know.
But I got a couple-
Allie knows. She's upstairs. She's listening. She knows about Karen to Kyrie.
Yeah. Shout out. What's up with the chat? What's going on there?
Oh, the chat is fire today.
Chat, let's go. Everybody, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for tuning in. We tried to promote this one a little better. This came together last minute. Tell the
Yeah, it
people how
did.
that came together,
So
Brian.
I'm just sitting there You know, it's Wednesday, biggest bar night of the year. I don't partake, never did, never, probably won't. Family life. We drink in the morning. We got the mimosas. Cheers.
I got another new little medicated drink here too, and
Oh man,
trying
30
this one out today.
milligrams in that bad boy.
It's a holiday.
How was that lavender haze? 10
Oh, I love
milligrams.
that. It
was
tasted
good?
like cotton candy. But anyway, yeah, to
We love
loosen
it.
up the mood a little. But Thanksgiving in our country. Why don't you? The floor is yours, Brian. Why don't you
Yeah.
take a second, man?
I
Tell the
think,
people we obviously got a small platform. Tell everybody what you're thankful for.
What am I thankful for? Obviously, family, Halloween, just life. You know, it's a fun holiday, but it takes a little bit to step back and appreciate what you have. It can be I don't know, real therapeutic day if you look at it that way.
I do. It's a nice time for reflection, especially being a man, taking care of your family, trying to advance. It's a nice day to reflect where you were from last year, previous years, making sure you're heading in the right direction. Yeah, it's a wonderful day. And then the obvious, which I'm actually starving right now, is yeah, I'm ready for the food, but if I could take a minute to say what I'm thankful for. Obviously, like you said, family. I'm blessed. I got a beautiful woman. I got 3 beautiful, smart, healthy kids. Belle, Nathan, and Ella. You know, I actually do have a good job. The daily grind sometimes got some wear and tear with it, but very thankful for my job, my business, whatever it is.
Thankful for some days off too. It's always
And
nice.
man, that's another. The 2 best parts about this holiday are the food and the day off work. Because who doesn't want an extra day off of work? You
Put a
know,
chat up there. We get happy Thanksgivings in the chat.
a lot of happy Thanksgivings. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Appreciate
Happy
you guys.
Thanksgiving.
I'll look at John with the classic. He was definitely talking about the
he
what's
said,
the weather
he said,
doing.
"What's the weather doing?" Classic. I
Hey,
can't scroll on this window, but
hey, what's the weather doing?
and we had some questions firing in the chat already. You know, let's just jump into the rankings here.
Yeah, so
But before that, I just wanted to say a little bit about Thanksgiving and tradition. Growing up here, you know, we always had an early Thanksgiving. We had the TV by the dinner table watching the Lions, win or lose, you know. Man, so it's deep-rooted tradition watching
Same thing.
football on Thanksgiving.
same thing. Loved that. Absolutely. The best part. Before we jump into the rankings, though, let's talk about another part of Thanksgiving. Let's talk about the sides. Because
Thanksgiving
I
dinner.
spent some time putting these little slides together, but me and Brian have decided to rank our top 5 Thanksgiving sides. Brian, the floor is yours. You go first.
All right, off the cuff, you know, Mike just hit me with the, you know, brain-busting question last night. Got any more brain busters? You know, I just rifled off my top sides just off the top of my head. So, you know, whatever came out first,
So
that's number 1.
everybody's got 2 or 3, but
Yeah.
getting 5 is
Dude,
where.
5,
That's why I asked
really-
you for
I
5.
had to jog my brain towards that. I'm like, man, what other ones? But off the top of my head, deviled eggs, Thanksgiving classic. I could just eat eggs for half my dinner if I could.
Yeah,
Man,
I don't disagree with you there. Love deviled eggs. What do you got next?
let's see. We got stuffing. Oh, I love a good stuffing, especially the homemade ones from like a local source turkey joint.
I like
that knows
them
what they're
any
doing.
level.
Mm,
It could be
stuffing.
homemade, box.
Can't go wrong with stuffing.
You're not wrong there. Excellent choice at number 2. What do you got
Ooh.
at number 3?
We got a provocative pick. Green bean casserole. Love or hate it? I love it.
I'm
You
like,
can boo me if you want. It's okay.
so this one's tough because like, I only have like a couple food don'ts. I don't like mushrooms. I don't like olives. I don't like tomatoes, and I don't like seafood. And this is made with cream of mushroom soup.
Oh,
So
I
I'll-
love mushrooms, man.
So
Oh,
I'll eat this. I can eat mushrooms, even though I don't prefer them, but I can eat them. I'll eat this, but I don't necessarily seek it out. I wish it could be made a different way and still taste that same way, but it does get a little mushroomy for me, and sometimes I can't do it. But
let's hear it from the chat while we're going through it. What's your favorite
Chat,
Thanksgiving side?
chat, give me your
Let's do a
favorite
poll
side.
here.
Yeah, let's see if anyone agrees with our top 5. What do you got next at number 4?
Cheesy potatoes. You know, I'm thinking like mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, different types of potatoes on Thanksgiving, but cheesy potatoes, that's my thing right there.
How'd I do on the graphic? Is that a good representation of it?
That
Because
looks
I had
like
to
a
like
pasta.
search.
It looks pretty. It's close enough. People
It's
know
like-
what we're talking
It's
about.
like diced potatoes,
Yeah.
cheese. Sometimes
There's a few different ways to make it. I mean,
sometimes they have cornflakes on top.
yeah, cheese and potatoes. Can't go wrong.
Okay.
Rounded out, sweet potatoes. I like a classic sweet potato. No added sweetener, just the way it is.
Is this exactly what you meant too? Because this is what I thought too.
I
I
don't
wasn't
really get
sure if
this
you
on
meant.
Thanksgiving. Normally, it is mashed. But
Did you mean like casserole or like mashed?
like literally mashed sweet potatoes?
Okay.
But you can do it just.
So when I was searching for the pic,
this is close to what I like. There are sweeter versions. They're almost like a dessert, but like just the sweetness of a sweet potato, the yams. I yam what I am.
yeah,
I like it the way it is. So
I don't disagree.
That's my top 5.
I would eat that. It's not on my don't list. I would eat that. And then I have one more graphic there that is gonna put together your whole top 5
Brian's
there.
top 5 Thanksgiving
it out.
side.
Yeah, I had a little time last night. I
That's pretty cool.
closed up the restaurant about an hour early.
Yeah,
ate
just
my
throwing
di-
this together last minute. We're doing pretty good. Let's
Yeah.
jump into your sides.
Okay, I spent a
Number
lot of
one,
time on mine.
Stuffing.
Number 1 is stuffing, and more so than just the side itself, it is more of a time-specific food. And I was talking to Jamie about this last night. Tell me another time throughout the year, because if you're just going through a typical year, when are you having stuffing again besides today?
Probably not. Maybe Easter.
Maybe 2
Maybe
or
Easter.
3 times
Yeah.
a year, right? This food doesn't come up a lot.
It doesn't.
So,
It just makes it that much better on Thanksgiving. I
So
think.
that's the thing. It's the exclusivity of it. And then, like I said, when we were talking about it, because you had it number 2, I went ahead and put it number 1 just because, like, it's got to be there today. If it's not where I'm at on a Thanksgiving, I may just leave because we don't have that. You can get a stovetop box stuffing and it's like $2, $3, or I don't know, with grocery prices in this America, it's probably like $8 now. But like I'll eat box stuffing. I'll eat homemade stuffing. I don't care how you make it. Give me it. I
Give me
need
the
it on
stuffing.
Thanksgiving. That's my number 1.
There's some jokes there. I'm not going to get into it. Mashed potatoes.
Number two, mashed potatoes and gravy. Gravy's the important part of that picture.
Yeah.
I tried to find a better picture that would fill up the graphic more, but this picture pretty
You
much
got
was.
the gravy bowl. It's pouring.
It's
we know
the
what's going
exact
on.
representation of what I mean. I want mashed potatoes and gravy. Again, it's pretty much got to be at the function. I can understand if there's another potato or two, so I wouldn't be as mad if there
Yeah.
wasn't stuffing there.
Multiple varieties.
There
are
better be
required.
stuffing, but mashed potatoes, thank you. I would love that.
All right, number 3, mac and cheese.
Oh my god, mac and cheese. So this was like one of the perfect pictures I found when I was searching. It's got to be baked. It's got to be creamy, gooey, cheesy,
We got a
crunchy
good
top.
baked recipe in the family. Karen always comes through with some baked
There's
mac and cheese.
always a couple good ones
Yeah.
at the functions. And this one you have a little more
Shout
often
out to
throughout the
Karen.
year. I could say we have this maybe 3, 4, 5 times throughout the year. So, and you know, like
The
authentic.
chat is firing off right now.
Chat, we're going to get to you.
We're
Let
gonna
me
get
round
to
out
ya.
my top 5 and then we're going to see what the chat says.
Number
I love
4,
that.
sweet potato
casserole. This is touching off like you said. I love a good sweet potato and I'll have it anyway, but when you do it with the marshmallows and some people do whatever other seasonings and mixture for this, that picture right there exactly. And then going straight to number 5, the vegetables, specifically carrots, but I also love green beans and corn. I don't eat
The veggies.
vegetables on a regular, but at a function like this, it's like it's so wonderful, and I don't know why they're so delicious. I
You
could
just
eat.
gotta have a little bit of everything. Make your way around the plate. You know, you set it up. You got your sections.
And then even when you're done, if you got like a little roll and you're trying to make a little sandwich, I'll throw a couple little vegetables on there too. Why not? So if we get to my graphic of my top 5,
Mike's
stuffing,
top 5.
mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, sweet potato casserole, and vegetables. It's corn, carrots, green beans, whatever. Those are the usual suspects for the vegetables.
Those are the top 5. The chat here, you know, I'm gonna verbalize it. Let's see. Let's go back to the beginning.
Chat. Thank you for participating. Shout out to our viewers again. Happy Thanksgiving for
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving. Thanks for
Oh my
joining.
God, we forgot. I'm so thankful for supporters, followers. We started this page in the middle of August. We started going live in the beginning of September. We are approaching 8,500 views. That's 8,500. It sounds more saying it like that.
Sounds more.
We're up to 81 subscribers as of airtime. I haven't checked here since we
We're not in the
aired,
millions
but
yet. Somebody get this to Taylor Swift. Give us a plug. We'll get millions. Real
but yeah,
quick.
we're doing this naturally because I've had offers, pay for this and do
Yeah,
this,
the
but
bots are
nope.
in the chat too.
Nope,
We'll weed
nope.
them out.
We're doing this naturally. You should like us and then tell your friends to
Yeah,
like
tell
us.
your
And
friends.
shout out to the land. Throwback LeBron James rookie jersey. Had to get that in on
That's a
Thanksgiving.
classic.
Thankful for LeBron James. Why not on this holiday?
Yeah, he Got you a championship. He did what he said he would do.
Still doing it.
Yep, still going.
Greatness. Anyway, what's the chat sides? Let's talk about the chat sides.
All right. Number 1 in the chat, Carrie, sister-in-law Carrie, cheesy potatoes.
Carrie, huge supporter. Thank you, Carrie.
Niece Aubrey, cheesy potatoes are delicious.
Cheesy potatoes. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Carrie likes everything that Tina makes. That's what she says. Allie, rolls and mashed potatoes.
Ooh, rolls. An underrated
Rolls.
side.
We forgot about the rolls.
Speaking of that, today I picked up some rolls fresh from Villa Bakery. I'll just shout out Villa Bakery in Garden City, Middlebelt
Ooh,
Road.
Villa.
Check them out. Fresh baked rolls. I got plain
Those
and I got.
pizza breads are fire. You've never had them.
So I'm new to them, even though I've lived in Garden City about 12 years. I'm new to them. I just started going this year, and I made a couple friends. I'm right down the street. My restaurant is right down the street, and yeah, I've made friends with them this year. Fresh baked rolls from Villa Bakery today. Can't wait.
John G said my list was fire, except for the sweet potatoes. He wasn't a fan of those.
Okay.
But that was followed by some instant hate from Matt Style. Deviled eggs, number 1. Mike's list over Brian's list.
Okay.
Damn.
So I love deviled eggs too, but when I was talking with Jamie, I was trying to debate was that a side or not. I felt
it's a
like
side.
it could count as a side or it could count as a starter.
Anything that's not the turkey is a
But
side in my book.
I want deviled eggs there. There better be deviled
Appetizer,
eggs.
side. It could be the same.
But I wasn't going to put it on my list, especially because you had it there. But shout out to the fellas,
Yeah.
Matt, John, the family, Carrie, Karen, Aubrey. Who else? Anyone else in the chat?
John's got stuffing, number 1. He likes the deviled eggs.
John, nice.
Carrie says stuffing is at the bottom. Not even on her
Stuffing.
list.
Okay, Carrie.
She said we can have her portion.
Hey, it's cool. It's cool to be opposite too. You know,
That's all
it's
right.
good to have differences in this country. I got a couple don'ts, but pretty much everything I see at a Thanksgiving spread, there's no don'ts there for me. I'm there for it.
All right. Let's jump into the browser overlay. We can go on some chat recommendations. Cut it over. Fix the screen a little. See
All
what's
right.
going on.
So anyway, we are a fantasy sports show, and there are 4 games here in the next 2 days. We were just going to go over those 4 games, some of the participants in them for fantasy purposes, and then some gambling recommendations for those purposes. And we're going to try to wrap this up around 12:30ish because, I mean, we want to watch the Lions too.
Yeah. So right off the cuff in the chat, we're going back about almost 30 minutes. We got Swift, Chubb, or ETN. Said I'm starting Keenan Allen, so I hate starting 2 Bears players. Yeah.
Chubb.
I always
ETN.
avoid trying to start 2 from the same team, but if they're strong enough, I'll go with it. Man, that's tough.
That one is tough.
I definitely rule out ETN.
Let's jump into
His-
the rankings for that.
ETN
Why
has
not?
No credibility
We're
this year.
interactive show. I agree
Take him
with
out of here.
I'd stay away from ETN. However, let's look at these matchups real quick, and I may be able to change my mind. That's a great situation. My first thought is to stay away from Swift as well. I don't trust.
Hit or miss with Swift.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. It's a terrible matchup.
I don't know. Fantasy Pros has Swift at 26. Chubb had a solid week last week, I think. Chubb's down here at 31. They're playing the Broncos. Their defense has been all right.
Chubb's respectful, and you got a little time. If you don't like him, maybe there's a waiver wire. But Swift obviously is time
Swift
sensitive.
against the run game. I don't know.
What's my rankings say here? What do you got there? You got the running back rankings right there. Where was Swift at again?
ETN is 33. Chubb 31, and Swift is actually at the top of those 3 at 25. This is the Fantasy Pros consensus rankings expert compilation. I don't know. Personally, ETN, just rule him out. So I'd be between Chubb and Swift.
Okay, let's look at Swift's game logs and his volume here real quick. I don't like his rushing attempts. It's in the low teens, mid-teens.
He had some flair before the bye. Post-bye, there's some solid
He's getting
games
a
in
couple
there.
targets. He's on the road. This is like a...
Still doing good against some hard matchups.
I don't know. It's in these midweek games. I don't know what to expect. Usually in these
It's
games,
hard.
like it's a Thursday night game, the more dominant team's gonna be more dominant.
Yeah, you don't see as
know,
much
like-
fire on some of the players, too. Chubb, look at that, 19 points. That was a snow game, but we're going on the Broncos. As much as I hate to say it, I think I'd take Swift out of those 3.
Yeah, out of those 3, even though I don't
Coming off
like
a
any
short
of them.
week, the defense might be a little gassed. You might get more yards than you're expecting.
Overall, forgetting today's matchups, if you asked me, I would take Swift. So, okay,
right.
that's our recommendation. Okay, what else
Thanks
does
for
the
the
chat
question
have?
there. Well, then we got a question out of Kyle. How you feel about Brian Thomas versus Houston or Terry McLaurin versus the Titans?
Ooh, I actually have Terry McLaurin in my Dynasty League, and I'm kind of torn. Terry McLaurin is towards the top of the rankings I've seen. I believe he's 15, if we're taking a look.
Dropped a little to 18.
He dropped down to 18. Okay, and then where do we have Brian Thomas at? That's a great
23.
matchup there.
So
And
he's
they're
on the rise.
They're at home. Let's look at his game logs there. What's his target share looking like? So he's getting
around 4 to 5
around.
is
Yeah,
about
I
his
would say he's averaging about 4.5
Hasn't hit
targets.
10 targets yet.
He hasn't had a touchdown in a couple games, so
No,
I
he
do like that. And they're
did
coming
already
off a
against
bye
Detroit.
week.
Yeah, coming off the bye.
I do like them to perform well, and I like Terry McLaurin to, somehow, like, because I watch Red Zone and I check in on most of these games, and it's like for most of the time he's doing nothing. And in this last week, he had 6 attempts, 5 catches for 102 yards, but one of those was like an 84-yard prayer
right at
that
the
somehow answered. So
yeah,
without that,
Washington
that's like
offense didn't look right last week. They didn't look right. They had their guys back. They had the other Brian Jr. back, and I don't know.
Yeah, something was wrong. But if you ask me, I'm going to stick with the Buckeye, and I'm going to go ahead and recommend Terry McLaurin. I'm starting him myself, so this is a scenario
I think
where...
I'd second you on that.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Scary Terry.
Scary Terry, that's to you, Kyle.
Shout out to my fellow Buckeye, OH.
We had some Kyle feedback to the first question. He said he'd go Chubb even as a Swift owner.
So that's not wrong either.
No, I think that's
I
a
do
coin
like
toss.
Chubb. Chubb's more touchdown dependent though. I don't
Yeah.
think Chubb's going to get 100 yards
And
or
this-
he's going to get
coming
like
off the snow game. I don't know. It was just like it's a skewed data point. Doesn't really tell you much with the circumstance. So
I don't think he's
don't
going to get 8 catches a game either. He's only going to get a couple catches a game. But yeah,
All right.
that's well played. I don't think you could go wrong.
Brunson
with
Burner, I like the name by the way. He says start at flex: Pacheco, Reed, Dell, or Braylon. Just off the top of my head, I'm taking
Reed,
Pacheco if he's in and
Dell,
healthy.
or
He was,
Bland. I'm taking
Pacheco's
Pacheco.
he was a
Yeah.
full participant at practice. He's sitting on my IR spot in the
And
Dynasty
that's
League.
a
I still gotta
scenario
activate
in
him.
that game where the Chiefs, like I said, Mahomes after the last game, he said he was tired of close games. He wants blowouts. Again, as we touched on one of the episodes earlier in the year, the Raiders made fun of Patrick Mahomes this season. They want to blow somebody out, and specifically, they want to blow the Raiders out. So, yeah, I like for huge fantasy stats for that game. I'm actually torn myself. Maybe the chat can help me in. Would you start DeAndre Hopkins today? And I was torn with...
I wouldn't.
So it's tough for me because he's touchdown dependent too. I don't think he gets like 100 yards, but he is a good red zone target. But I ended up taking out of the lineup at the last second DeAndre Hopkins, or should I roll with Terry McLaurin? And
Terry.
at the end of the day, I want to scare Terry.
I don't think that Hopkins 38-point week. I don't think that's going to happen again this year. Personally,
I just
especially if the run game's doing all right.
because they spread the ball around too much there for the offense. But as far as
shit.
Pacheco,
We're getting ripped up in the chat.
if Pacheco's
Ellie's
getting
mad about Pacheco. Ellie, activate Pacheco off IR right now.
Yeah.
Plug him in.
If Pacheco's
bad. That's my
playing,
bad.
he's going to get volume. And then if they get close, they're going to try to get him a touchdown because he's been out for a little bit. So,
We're
yeah.
still catching up on the chat, but the latest chat questions are: we have trade proposals from
Okay.
Mondo9969. Should I trade Love for Ridley? I have Kyler already.
So that's tough. I am more of a fan of Jordan Love than Kyler. However, their stats favor Kyler a little more.
If you got two and you need someone at receiver, you might as well just do it.
That's a good point
Just do
because
it.
I feel like you can navigate through a season with just keeping one quarterback. Just trust
Yeah.
one guy, and then on his bye week,
Matt's feedback:
Do that.
You try to deal Kyler over Love, but
yeah, so I mean, you're gonna have to trade
Yeah.
one of those because
Yeah.
holding both of them, you're basically holding two
Yeah, I
top 10
definitely-
guys. So,
as Matt said, try to dish Kyler instead.
but
for
who was
Ridley,
he
but you
trying
don't
to
need
get?
both.
Who was the proposal? Receiver?
Calvin
it was
Ridley, receiver.
I feel like you could get a better receiver for one of those quarterbacks. I would shop around a little more, Matt. Somebody's got to be
It's not
interested
Matt
in
though.
that.
Matt's recommending
Oh.
Mondo9969.
Oh,
But thanks for the question. Jaws
Yeah.
is in the chat. Shout out, Jaws. Thanks for
Shout
viewing.
out.
I know you don't watch football, but you support the show. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you for that. That's a great thing. There's a few people that don't watch football, but they just support us. We need that. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. On this
We appreciate
Thanksgiving,
you.
man. That
Yeah.
gets me going, man. What else we
stream
got?
is fired today, by the way. You know, we're over 10 viewers steadily this morning.
Yeah, 10 live viewers.
like it.
Thank you everybody for that.
Double
We
digits.
we do pretty well in the after the fact, but you know, we were on time for what we wanted to do, but anyway, so yeah, what else do we got going on, man? I had some gambling stuff prepared, but I want to take care of the chat. We can go over some rankings of people in today's games. I was just gonna
Yeah.
start or sit, in today's games.
Allie, I'll circle back to you. I don't know who to sit and set up a check on your lineup. Off the top of my head, you got McConkey, Zay Flowers, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Stevenson. Start him over Stevenson. That's what I would do. Because your other running back is
We're
the dude
starting
from the
We're
Rams.
starting Pacheco over Ramondre Stevenson. Is that the proposal there?
That's the proposal. So
I would do
she's
that.
loaded at receiver. She's
I
got
would do that and
Lamb, Neighbors, Flowers,
stay
McConkey.
heavy at receiver. I kind of like Neighbors to bounce back a
Yeah.
little this week.
Her two running backs right now are what's the dude's name? The Rams, Kyron Williams, right? Yeah, and then Ramondre Stevenson. So yeah, put Pacheco in for Stevenson.
This is delicious.
Activate him. You're gonna have to drop somebody though if he's on your IR slot. So
Send her down. If someone needs to come down with that phone, if that's time sensitive, is there someone in the Lions
That's a
game
black-
that affects? That doesn't
Uh,
affect today's game. No, we got a little
no,
time on that.
her RB spots are all right.
So, I'm not sure, was there anybody on bye this week? I know it's kind of a weird week because there's 3 games today, 1 on Friday, Sundays, got the rest, and then there's a typical Monday night game, so.
We got one more question in the chat. Randy Miller.
Lions defense or Giants versus Dallas, is that it?
So you got the Lions versus the Bears, or the Giants versus Dallas.
So I trust the Bears offense more than I trust Dallas offense.
I don't know. I think they're gonna have some flares of
But
what they could be today, but I don't know.
turnovers is what's going to make a difference in a defense for the fantasy world. If there's no turnover in any of those games, they're going to get right around the same points. But which game, let's call it out. Which game would we expect a turnover more in?
More turnovers?
Yeah, so
Probably Dallas Giants game for sure.
so I'm actually starting
run
the
a
Dallas defense.
DeVito.
Yeah. I streamed defenses. I felt like that was the best waiver wire one. And then I picked up a defense to stash. I never do that, but like we talked about last week on the show, if you're getting ready to be a playoff team, you want to start stashing and setting your lineup for the postseason of the fantasy world, which is NFL weeks 15, 16, and 17. So you want to start looking at matchups that week. And I was looking at a couple defenses that have some favorable matchups those 3 weeks. I'm trying to win a championship, so I'm planning ahead a little bit. However, I got to hang on these last couple weeks. So
Yeah. I don't know, Randy. I would start the Lions in that predicament. I'm
I
not
would-
starting the Giants versus Dallas, even as enigmatic as Dallas has been. I think they still have flares of they can light up some passing game if
right.
they get going. They still got CeeDee Lamb, couple weapons there. So
Yeah, I wonder what's on the waiver wire. Maybe there's a slightly better option. I could recommend.
There are definitely better
Because
options.
I seen Buffalo on some waiver
yeah,
wires that I was
Buffalo,
searching for, and that's not
Washington.
necessarily the best matchup for Buffalo this week against San Francisco. But again, I check weather, and it's going to be like 30 degrees in a blizzard in that
Yeah.
game. So what's going on? How fun is it to play in a blizzard? Do you just get your regular fantasy stats, or is it a sloppy game where defense can capitalize on a turnover?
Buffalo, yeah, playing San Francisco at
So,
home.
Top 9 on the rankings, but like I said, these rankings have zero to do with weather.
Yeah.
So whenever I see rankings, especially for defense, I check a weather report because I want to see, well, okay, weather can affect turnovers. Turnovers help fantasy defenses. I remember when this song came in last time on the show, I was like, yo, I like this one. Anyway, the background music.
There are a few good sources out there that use some mathematical formulas to recommend defense rankings. So if you do a quick Google search, you're going to find a few things like that. That's kind of what I rely on in terms of that. I kind of come to an average of who I think is the best matchup. Lions, man, someone's got Lions number 2 on their rankings. I mean, that just tells you enough.
Yeah, that's a good matchup because the Bears are inept. They had a couple quarters or
Yeah.
games in a row, 10 quarters
I'm
or
wrong.
so where they couldn't
I'm,
score.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. And the way
Right.
the Lions play on Thanksgiving, it always just sits in the back of my head, and you never know.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, so when everybody tells you something's about to happen, that's exactly when I start getting weary that the opposite's going to happen. So everybody's like, the Lions are won. What are they? Won 9 in a row? If I'm wrong, correct me.
Yeah.
What are the Bears? They've lost a few in a row. What are the Bears? They can't score. What are the Lions? Dropping 40 on everybody every week.
Got Patriots
Like-
versus Colts as an option. I think out of your options there, Randy, I would take Detroit.
I'd still go with the Lions.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hit them with the forward on the field. Did I do it
Georgia
right?
Team that will not yield.
Okay, as an out of towner, I
Yeah.
hit it. Let's
There we
go.
go. We appreciate that.
Like I said, I
Coming from
never had any-
Cleveland.
Never had any beef with the Lions, even as an out of towner.
No.
Never had any beef with the Lions and the Tigers.
It's hard to hate an underdog.
Everywhere else, we can have some debates, but
Yeah.
Lions and Tigers, never any beef.
Yeah, Lions and Tigers, each respectively, have been at the bottom of the league. And now we got the Pistons kind of chilling around there.
Well,
And
shout
they're
out to
on the
Cleveland.
rise,
That's
but-
why I kind of identified, because growing up, so were my teams. Cleveland and Detroit, we was near the bottom, and especially in baseball, I used to always like identify with the Tigers. Like,
Yeah.
man, hey, we just suck together.
That early 2000s team, they got the Bobby Higginson. There's like a little thing over there on the other table.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like a little, thing you open up. There's a little guy inside. They keep opening. There's
Man,
more
I'll
and more.
blow your mind. I go back even farther. I seen Cesar Fielder
Oh.
in 1992. So,
Yeah.
I go back.
I was just fresh out the womb. It's all
Yeah,
good.
I think I was 11 that summer. There's a wonderful app, speaking of baseball, for just a quick second. There's an app that tracks everywhere you went. And
Oh, yeah.
I just found old ticket stubs I had, and you can enter in,
Yeah,
and then it
That's cool.
keeps
Hunter.
your, with today's day and age, when you buy tickets and it's electronic, it automatically updates in that. But you can go back and update previous stuff, and
Let's jump into our bets. Get
But
to the
anyway,
end
yeah.
of the show
So for
here.
gambling purposes, I did some research. However, last week I took a beating.
Oh,
I
3
finally
in the
had a
week.
clean reverse sweep. I lost all 3 of my recommendations. One was close.
That was your first full L of the.
The Bears were
Of the
pretty close.
recommendations.
The other 2, I got no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
an
thinking about that
idiot.
later. I'm looking at the matchups. I'm like,
I'm an idiot. Well, I was
It's all
terribly wrong on the Giants. That one was
High on
just based off
confidence.
of magic. Unfortunately, there was no magic there. However, still above 50%. This week, I've studied some stuff. I'm not sure what we're going to call our exact recommendations, because these
Taking
are
the
what I
Lions
would
spread.
favor, but I
Yeah.
would like to debate with
Okay.
you, and then we are going to,
yeah, I had
for our record.
I had my first recommendation last week. Take the Lions on the spread, and they hit the spread.
Yeah.
Personally, I parlayed the spread in the over, and I lost. I didn't take my own advice and just the spread. But this week, I see you taking the spread. I took the spread as well on this game. I think the Lions are gonna, put the demons in the closet for Thanksgiving. They're gonna go out there, get the Galloping Gobbler. If you don't
This-
know about the Galloping Gobbler,
I
that was the old trophy that I think Fox would give out on Thanksgiving. I
don't.
think CBS is playing the game today, but whatever station they were on the last
I just remember the
a
8-leg
couple years
turkey.
ago. No, yeah, they
Or
would
the
give out the
turducken.
Galloping Gobbler was the MVP trophy of the day, and it stuck around for like 10 years or so. Most non-Lions were the ones winning it, but I think Stafford got one before he left. So
Well, either way,
Galloping
this
Gobbler.
is
Yeah.
the smartest bet of the day. However, I'm not going to lie. There's like a renegade cowboy in me that wants to say the Bears are going to win because, like I said, everything points to the Lions win and it being a blowout. So
Yeah.
that's the smartest thing.
And if you bet the Lions on the spread all season, you're making a lot of money.
Yeah, so I'm going to stick with that for an official betting recommendation.
in.
However, there's a part of me that wouldn't be shocked if the Bears win just because weird upsets happen, man. I can't
That's what
explain
I
it.
said. The moon phase. Check it out before you make your bet. Anyways, we got the Giants Cowboys.
So this
another
game,
Thanksgiving
oh my god,
tradition.
everyone expects this to be a dud, and there's
Take
backup
that.
quarterbacks. But again, when everyone tells me it's going to be a dud, this is the lowest point total of the week. When everyone says it's going to be
Spread's
boring,
close, too.
the memes are we're going to be taking naps during this game.
Yeah.
No, I like football. We're going to be watching
I don't know.
football.
The Cowboys show out on Thanksgiving. traditionally.
The Cowboys
And
can score, and the Giants.
The Giants should have
They got
last
some
week.
pride to play for. They know everybody's watching. This is a national game.
Yeah.
I think for me, this is an easy over just because everybody thinks it's going to be under. And actually, the public money, this is about 80% of the public money also agrees that it will be over.
Okay. Wow.
So I don't know if you want to.
I took the spread on Dallas just because it seems so tight, and I expect Dallas to win handedly in this game, honestly. Just
That's
the
the
way
thing.
the Giants played last week. Dallas
Yeah.
did all right last week, too. They
Based
came
off
from
of
behind to
last
beat the
week, that would be
Commanders.
obvious.
Yeah.
But I could be convinced either way.
Yeah.
I could be convinced the
I
Giants
like
could
this game
show
for
out.
betting
But
purposes. I did a single game parlay on this one. I picked CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown. I think Tyrone Chasey Jr. for like 60 yards.
love that guy.
Because I think they're
Love
going to
that
pound
guy.
the ball. They didn't do it last week, and it really screwed them. I think they need to run. If you can't really rely on your quarterback, you can't just be throwing out whatever you want. Just prayers down the field.
Flat out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I parlayed it with something else, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But yeah, look at that one for a single game parlay. There's some good options there.
We're going to get
Oh,
together over.
Neighbors for 7+ catches.
I actually like him to have a huge game.
Yeah, so I
He
put
was
parlay-
upset after last week.
Yeah.
Like I said, they were embarrassed a
Yeah.
little bit. They got pride to play for today. They know America's watching. This is a game. It's not like just a
yeah,
random
Neighbors
game.
still got, I think, 6 catches last week, even with
Yeah.
DeVito. So I'm thinking the chemistry might be better. So you could hit on 7 catches for Neighbors. Definitely could get 60 or 70 yards out of Tracy, and a CeeDee Lamb touchdown is always going to be a betting favorite.
And there's going to be
Even when
eyeballs on this
He hasn't
game,
had one
so.
in a few weeks. I think he's due. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind. All right, what's
Yeah.
your next one here?
Okay, so this one.
Dolphins money line.
So
I
here's
took this too, actually. So
here's
I
my
agree with you.
reasoning for this. There's 3 games today. And they seem obvious. It seems obvious that the Lions would win. It seems obvious that the Cowboys would win. It
Yeah.
seems obvious that the Packers would win.
Yeah, this one was mine least obvious in my head. I'm thinking the Dolphins have a chance. We talked about the cold and the Dolphins going up north, playing outside in Lambeau, but I think the Packers, they haven't really proved anything to me. They have had some slow, really close wins. I don't think they've really beat anyone. I mean, they barely lost to the Vikings. I kind of feel like the Vikings are overrated, but I don't know. They smacked on the Niners, but it's just like, I don't think they're gonna. I think we're gonna see who they are. We know who they are, who we thought they were. All right.
And we let them off the hook.
Yeah.
But here's my reasoning. So if we talked about this a couple times on our show, there may be some Vegas influences in the sports world, and some things may be like strings pulled, and
You don't know. It's an entertainment industry. It's not entirely.
and the way they
out
would
of the
do that
question.
is just like WWE, like we talked about. It would be with the
Refs got
referees,
the mics. I
and
don't know. We're getting into some deep conspiracy
So,
theories.
but
here.
here's the thing for my reasoning. They're not just going to let in where gambling's legal in I don't know how many states now, 20 plus states. They're not going to let America sit here and parlay the Lions, the Cowboys, and the Packers, and everybody's just going to get rich, and
No.
we're all going to shop on Black Friday.
Exactly
There's
what
going
I
to
was
be
thinking.
an upset today.
Mhm.
Which game is going to be the upset? Are the Bears going to win? Not likely. I'm not going to pound no table for that
No.
this week. I got some balls to do
In
that,
years
but I'm not
past,
doing it.
definitely plausible.
Could the
last
Giants
year.
win? I could see it. If the Giants win, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Shout out to the Giants, my Lawrence Taylor here on the wall. But this was the one where I was like, okay, because I think the Lions are going to win. I think the Cowboys are going to win. This one, it's more of a toss-up. And then all the last 2 days on the shows I've been watching, because I watch sports content too, and all they say is the Dolphins can't win in cold weather. It can't be this. It can't be this. So whenever they tell me that, it's like, oh, sure, they're just telling us all that so we can just sit here and put our life savings up. We'll just bet this and we'll all get rich on the Packers. No, it doesn't work that way. When everybody tells you something, question it. That's just the kind of guy I am.
I'm with you.
So
Take the Dolphins on the money
this one,
line.
and
It's a
then
good-
90% of
risk.
the money, maybe 89% of the public money, I forget what it was when I checked last night, was on the Packers money line to win. Again, whenever I see 90%, that's where I think
Yeah.
Vegas takes an
And
angle
yeah,
where,
this game is going to be closer than I think.
yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins money line though. That's where my money's
Found
going.
it. Black Friday special. Raiders Chiefs to cover the spread. This was the largest spread of the 4-game slate we're covering today. 12.5 points. That spread is huge.
I
on the
expect
Chiefs.
this game to be brutal. I expect this to be a classic with Pacheco coming back, with it being the Black Friday game, a lot of eyes on this game. Whenever the Chiefs have the
I think the
primetime
Chiefs need to
game,
prove themselves. I think in the
That's a good
national
point.
light, they've definitely been overrated, and I think that I don't know, that dialogue's been getting out there. They're overrated. ESPN loves them. I don't know. ESPN's looking their, you know what, but
yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. Maybe they come out. And
The
prove
refs
something.
love them too. The
Right.
referees.
Personally, I want to see the Raiders put up a fight, but they don't have many offensive weapons.
The Raiders look lost, and at this
Yeah.
point, with the selections in the draft, looming, they want to be in a top 5
That
pick.
could be in the back.
I feel like
too.
they're not telling anybody they're tanking, but they are telling it by their lineup suggestions and
Yeah.
by bad luck. They've had some injuries that have been kind of tough. Gardner Minshew's out. I just don't expect much from the Raiders, and I expect a lot from the Chiefs. So covering 12.5, I feel like no problem for me. They usually cover large spreads. It's when they have games where they're like favored by like 2 or 3 points. That's where they struggle against the spread. I don't care
That
what their
makes
record
sense.
is, but like
those
when they
tight
have larger
games this
spreads,
year-
it seems like they cover those. So
They gotta have the most.
those are
Single-
recommendations.
Yeah.
I don't know what should we count for the record, because I feel strongly in some of those. I feel pretty strongly for my brain purposes on the Lions, so
Yeah.
we could put that on the record. What do you say? We put them all on the record?
I just throw them all on the record. It's the
Okay,
show's
I got
record,
the
right?
Stones. The infused peach tea is rolling pretty good, and also I got the mimosa. We love doing them.
Mine's empty. We'll need a refill shortly after the show.
Yeah.
We're coming and rounding it up. Hey,
Round
if
it.
you didn't
We're-
catch the cup, watch more horror movies. If you can't tell, huge Halloween fan. We love anything horror. Hey, there's a horror Thanksgiving movie that came out last year, the year before Thanksgiving. I think it's just called Thanksgiving. You know,
I'm
you
gonna have
got
to check
a
that out.
murdering pilgrim. It's all good. Check that out. So
I'm gonna have
we're
to check
wrapping
that
it
out.
up. We got one more question in the chat. It's a half PPR question. We don't get many of those.
Chat, what's good?
It says John C from the chat, pick 2 out of half PPR. Dowdle, Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, Ramondre Stevenson, or Braylon Allen.
I'm taking Flowers and Stevenson.
Flowers and Stevenson.
There's zero thought else. That's
We'll
all.
run with it. We're at that point in the show. We're just rifling off the
No, yeah,
recommendations.
I
thought
feel
needed.
confident in those, especially Flowers.
If they're just coming off your head, just go with it.
Yeah, that's
the best thing
Baltimore's
to do.
Baltimore's most talented receiver. He does get a lot of
He's
action.
got a tough matchup.
That
with
one is a no doubter for me. And then
I don't know.
I
Flowers has a tough matchup against Philly's secondary. They're
True.
all right.
true, but just off of volume alone,
Yeah.
love him. And then I like Stevenson's matchup this week. So those are no doubters. Do you
Rashad
have,
White.
yeah, who else can you make?
Dowdle, Rashad White.
You could make a case for Dowdle
Not
today.
big.
You could make me a case for
So
Dowdle.
Dowdle, Rashad White, Zay Flowers, Mondre Stevenson, Braylon Allen. If Brees is out.
Yeah, even
Brees Hall.
wait, Brees Hall is out, so Braylon Allen. Excuse me as I try to
Let's
make
take a look
sure I
here.
can pick
Let's
up
see.
Braylon Allen in my other leagues real quick. Thanks for the info, chat. You're putting me on. Hold on.
He said if they're out. Let me take a look.
Is Brees Hall out? You searched that, chat. We got a couple minutes left on the show as we're trying to round this out before the Lions kick off, and then we got a function to go to ourselves, and I'm kind of hungry.
We got that
I don't know
Lions
what
going.
time. What time was the dinner function? What do you know about today?
Question.
We want to tell the people our menu today. I actually have the menu.
We got a 2 p.m. dinner slate.
Okay, I didn't know the time. I was just prepared. I got something in the car I made, and then I gotta like finish it off. I baked something. I made a new recipe for something this year, Brian. We're gonna
Yeah?
be trying out something
You
new
bake
this
something,
year.
Bring some to the Thanksgiving.
It's not
dinner?
a sweet.
Ooh,
Should I
okay.
just talk about it, or should we just tell the people about it Sunday? Or I'll just talk about it now. I'm gonna say the name. It's gonna be kind of descriptive, but just off of the name, tell me your thoughts, and then I'll tell you about it as I try to pick up Braylon Allen. The name
It's
is
still questionable. There's no update on his injury.
well. Either way, I got room to pick up Braylon Allen in this league. So, the name of the dish I've made today, Brian, for our family Thanksgiving, which if we don't like it, no big deal. We still had plenty other food. Mashed potato cupcakes. What do you think when you hear that?
Mashed potato cupcakes.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
Hey, bite-sized mashed potatoes would probably be pretty good. That's what I'm thinking. I don't like a lot of potatoes, and if it's like a little mashed potato cupcake, I might go for that.
Yeah, so my little music here shifted into something else. I'm gonna go right back here to this. Okay, boom. So it's you mix up mashed potatoes. They gotta be already made and they gotta be cold. You mix them up once they're cold with cheese, green onions, some salt, some pepper,
already
some
sold me.
garlic powder. You gotta put some salt in there. And then some people do bacon, some people don't. So I say,
Size mashed potato.
but you put them in
goodness.
a cupcake pan.
Yeah.
And you grease the pan and then you bake them so that you got your cheese and you got all the seasonings in there and you mix with sour cream and eggs to like hold it together and make it more of like a
I think it's gonna be fire.
keep it moist. I think it's going to be great. So I was a little skeptical as I was doing the dry part, but as it came out the oven, I was like, I might be onto something.
Yeah.
So mashed potato cupcakes.
Mashed potato cupcakes. Look into it. We're wrapping up here. We got 6 minutes to Detroit Lions kickoff. We can't miss that. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't, like and subscribe. Tell your friends.
Please, we've upped our subscriber count the last couple days, and that has been wonderful. Thank you for that.
Keep it going.
Please spread the word. Tell your friends. You know, hey, we're trying. We're just some guys talking about some sports. You got questions? Maybe we can help you out.
We don't know everything. We're just here to have fun. We're gonna tell you what we think. We're gonna talk about some random stuff. It's gonna be fun. It's fun to watch. Fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Fun to do it.
Just a couple family guys. We're relatable. You know people like us. You can talk to people like us.
We're just your average dudes.
But again, thanks for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Just so
Thanksgiving special. Our first special episode.
Like just saying, you know, I'm just so thankful for everything. It covers everything, but like, man, I'm just so thankful.
Yeah,
I'm so thankful this venture got this far.
Yeah.
Like so many people quit. Like I've said this on the show so many times. 80% quit after 4 episodes. 90% have quit after 5 episodes. And I don't know, this counts as episode 13. I don't plan on quitting anytime soon.
Lucky 13. Hey, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I know you're watching.
Oh, snap.
Anyway.
Get this to Taylor Swift. Shout out. Can you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
Can you freaking imagine?
It wouldn't matter if we sucked or not. We'd get enough viewers. We'd be all
Taylor
right.
Swift, if you do see this, happy Thanksgiving. But no chance.
All right. We're thankful for all you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you Sunday for our regularly scheduled programming.
We will be back Sunday. Happy Thanksgiving, America.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you again, man. Thank you. Seriously.
Yep.
Bottom of my heart, man. I'm so thankful for y'all.
Word. All right.